All right, explorers, let's spin our globe gently. Imagine you're holding Earth in your hands or looking at it from the moon, just like astronauts do. What's the first color that catches your eye? Yes, blue. But what does this blue actually mean? It represents water. And here's a mind blowing fact: three-fourths of Earth's surface is covered with water. That's why, when astronauts looked at Earth from space for the very first time, they lovingly named it the Blue Planet. The largest water bodies on the globe are called oceans. Now, these oceans are like Earth's huge swimming pools, connecting countries, carrying ships, and controlling weather. Without them, life would not be possible. But wait, look again at the globe. Do you see another color? Yes, that's brown, and it shows land. Land covers a little more than one-fourth of the earth. When we talk about really large land areas, we call them land masses. And when these land masses stretch out without breaks, we call them continents. There are seven of them: North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Australia, Africa, and Antarctica. Both oceans and continents are like Earth's superheroes. They shape the climate, support plants and animals, and affect every part of human life: our food, our travel, our culture, even our history. Did you know that Indian Navy has a very special motto? It says Shah no va Varuna, which means be auspicious to us, O Varuna. Varuna is a Vedic god of water, oceans, and the sky. That shows how deeply humans have always respected water. Here's something interesting: water and land are not equally spread across the earth. If you check maps of the northern and southern hemispheres, you'll see the difference. Here too, the blue areas consist of oceans, along with their smaller extensions which have various names, like sea, which is a large body of salt water, typically smaller than an ocean and partially enclosed by land. For example, Caribbean Sea, Arabian Sea, etc. Bay, which is a broad inlet of the sea where the land curves inwards, like the Bay of Bengal. Gulf, which is a part of the sea nearly surrounded with land, like the Gulf of Mexico. Each one has its own shape and role, but all are part of the great blue water family. All right, ocean explorers, let's dive deeper into the story of Earth's water. Did you know that almost all of the water on our planet is stored in the oceans? But here's the catch: this seawater is salty, and we humans cannot drink it. The water that we actually use, called fresh water, is just a tiny fraction. You'll find it in glaciers, rivers and lakes, underground as groundwater, and even floating around in the atmosphere as clouds. Now, let's look at the world map. You'll see five oceans. Pacific Ocean, the biggest of them all. Atlantic Ocean, second largest, a highway of ships. Next is Indian Ocean, our very own, hugging Asia, Africa, and Australia. Then we have Arctic Ocean, the smallest, near the North Pole, often frozen. And finally, Southern Ocean, circling icy Antarctica. So now, quickly tell me, which is larger, the Arctic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean? Of course, it is the Pacific Ocean. It's giant of all oceans. Here's something cool. On the map, we see lines dividing the oceans. In real life, those lines don't exist. The oceans are all connected, like one big water family. Seawater flows freely across them, carrying nutrients, plants, animals, and even ships. This makes oceans home to an amazing variety of life called marine life. Marine flora include algae and seaweeds. Marine fauna includes colorful fish, dolphins, whales, and even mysterious creatures of the deep sea that we still don't fully understand. Now, quickly tell me, which word do we use for ocean plants? Flora or fauna? Yes, flora means plants. Try to rhyme them with flowers, flora, and remember. Now, let's zoom in on the Indian Ocean. The main limits of the Indian Ocean are Asia to the north, Africa to the west, and Australia to the east, apart from the Southern Ocean in the south. On either side of India, we find two parts of the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea to the west and the Bay of Bengal to the east. One of the two major island groups of India, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, are located in the Bay of Bengal, and the other, the Lakshadweep Islands, are situated in the Arabian Sea. To conclude, here is a world map showing the five oceans, their conventional boundaries, and the continents. Have you ever looked at a picture of the Earth and seen those big white shapes floating around? Yep, those are clouds. And guess what? Many of those clouds form above the oceans. Without them, we wouldn't get the rains that keep our fields green and our bellies full. In fact, the monsoon rains in India, the ones farmers wait for every year, come straight from the ocean. But wait, oceans are not just our friends. Sometimes they can turn into real troublemakers. Cyclones. Imagine giant storms with super strong winds and heavy rains. They can shake up coastal areas, blow away houses, and cause floods. Then, another disaster caused by oceans is tsunamis. These are massive ocean waves caused by underwater earthquakes or volcanoes. They can travel thousands of kilometers and crash onto coasts with unbelievable force. Do you know? On 26 December 2004, a tsunami struck many countries around the Indian Ocean, including India. Sadly, more than 2 lakh people lost their lives. Places like Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala were hit badly. But here's the good news: scientists and countries around the world work together to create early warning systems. These systems can detect tsunamis before they reach the coast, giving people time to move to safer places. In fact, we have the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System, and India is a proud part of it. And when disasters do happen, we don't face them alone. India has the National Disaster Management Authority. Their job is to make sure people are safe and that help reaches them quickly. So remember, oceans give us life with rain and food, but they can also bring danger with storms and tsunamis. That's why we need to respect nature and always be prepared. When you look at the world map, continents are easy to spot, right? But wait, here's a tricky question. How many continents are there? You might say seven. But guess what? The answer is not that simple. Different people count them in different ways. Let's uncover this puzzle step by step. There is a four continents theory: Africa, Eurasia, America, Antarctica, and Australia. Then there is a five continent theory, which includes Eurasia, Antarctica, Australia, North America, and South America. Then, if we consider seven continents, we know that there's Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. This is what you usually learn in school, right? Now tell me something. Have you seen the five Olympic rings? They represent five inhabited continents, which are Africa, America, Asia, Australia, and Europe. So, depending on how you count, our planet can have four, five, six, or seven continents. Isn't that fascinating? Now, observe this map carefully and tell me, do continents include all land masses? The answer is no. Some smaller pieces of land are left out, surrounded by water on all sides. They are called islands. Continents are also surrounded by water, but because they are so large, they are not considered islands. There are lakhs of islands on the planet of very different sizes. Greenland is the largest island in the world. You would have to add the areas of 10 largest states of India to reach its size. India has more than 1,300 small islands. Those include two major groups: Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal and Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea. Since 1981, the Indian Antarctica program has been exploring Antarctica, a continent with a very cold climate and harsh environment. In 1983, India established its first scientific base station there called Dakshin Gangotri. Later on, two more bases were established. About 40 teams of Indian scientists have conducted research in this faraway region, especially on the evolution of climate and environment. The settlement where the scientists live has a library and even a post office. Oceans and continents are a vital part of the environment and affect most aspects of our lives, even if we don't notice it. We have mentioned that oceans send rain to the continents. This is part of the Earth's water cycle. Without oceans, for instance, there would be no rainfall. The Earth would be a desert. Moreover, more than half of the world's oxygen is produced by the ocean's flora, which is why they are called the planet's lungs. The oceans, therefore, play a crucial role in regulating the climate and sustaining life on Earth. Oceans have deeply impacted humanity in many other ways. From early times, people have used oceans and seas to migrate to other regions, to trade in all kinds of goods, to conduct military campaigns, and as a source of food through fishing. Oceans have also nourished the cultures of coastal people all over the world. Almost all of them have tales and legends about the sea, sea gods and goddesses, sea monsters, and treasures from the sea, the ocean's dangers, but also their blessings. The United Nations has designated June 8 as the World's Oceans Day to remind us all of the major role the ocean plays in everyday life. It serves as the lungs of our planet, a major source of food and medicine, and a critical part of the biosphere. Scientific studies have shown how the oceans are polluted by human activity. We throw several million tons of plastic waste into the oceans every year, choking marine life. There are several other forms of pollution. As a result, the marine environment is under threat. Overfishing is another cause for the decline of marine life. It is our collective responsibility to protect oceans for the future and also for humanity. If you want to see more such videos, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day. See, we just completed the chapter in under 16 minutes.